Welcome to Relaxed Reddit Readings. Today we have 4 Reddit stories for you. Reddit stories that will make you question everything. Story 1. My in-laws kept saying I'd get fat, so I lost 30 pounds. So my in-laws spent months telling me I was definitely gonna get fat when I moved abroad with my husband. I'm talking about constant comments, guys. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law would literally say things like, just wait until you move there, everyone gains weight, and, you should buy bigger clothes now. They'd look me up and down and go, you'll see, you're gonna get chubby. At first I tried laughing it off, you know. I'd tell them I planned to stay active and eat well, but they just kept going. It was relentless. Every single family gathering, every phone call, they'd bring up my inevitable weight gain like it was some kind of prophecy. It got to the point where I started feeling self-conscious about my body, even though I was perfectly healthy. So here's where it gets interesting. When we finally moved abroad a year ago, I was so determined to prove them wrong that I actually started working out more and eating better than I ever had before. And guess what happened? I lost 30 pounds. 30. I look better than I have in years, I feel amazing, and I'm the healthiest I've ever been. Now here's where the drama really kicks in. Last month we went back to visit family, and when they saw me, their faces were priceless. My mother-in-law's jaw literally dropped. But instead of being happy for me or apologizing for their constant negativity, they got weird about it. My sister-in-law started making passive-aggressive comments like, wow, you're so skinny now, in this really judgmental tone. Then my mother-in-law pulled my husband aside and told him she was concerned about my weight loss and asked if I was eating enough. Can you believe that? The same woman who spent months telling me I was going to get fat is now worried I'm too thin. But here's the kicker, they're acting like I lost weight just to spite them. My sister-in-law actually accused me of being petty, and said I was trying to make them look bad. My mother-in-law keeps making these weird comments about how I'm showing off my new body and that it's not healthy to lose weight out of spite. The thing is, I genuinely feel great. I'm not starving myself or doing anything extreme. I just found a love for fitness and healthy cooking that I never had before. But they're making me feel guilty about taking care of myself, which is absolutely insane when you think about it. My husband is caught in the middle and keeps saying his family means well, but I'm honestly fed up. They spent months tearing down my confidence and now they're mad that I proved them wrong. Am I being unreasonable here, or are my in-laws completely out of line? If you're enjoying these stories, hit that like button and let me know in the comments which story you relate to the most. Story 2. I accidentally destroyed my friend's marriage with one text. So I think I might have just blown up my friend's entire life, and I honestly don't know how to feel about it. I've got this friend who's been in my life for years. She's always been a bit flaky and constantly broke, but I care about her. She's married with multiple kids, and between her and her husband, they only work about 25 hours a week total. Yeah, you heard that right. Meanwhile, my husband and I both work full-time, so we're doing pretty well financially. I've always been aware of this difference and tried to be sensitive about it. I'd offer to pay when we went out, I'd bring extra food to gatherings, that kind of thing. Well, my friend has this habit of always asking to borrow money. Usually small amounts, 20 here, 50 there. She'd always promise to pay me back, but let's be real, she never did. I kept track at first, but after a while I just started treating it like gifts because I knew I'd never see that money again. But here's where things get messy. A few months ago, she asked to borrow $200 for what she said was a family emergency. Her kid needed something urgent, she gave me this whole sob story. Of course I said yes because I'm not gonna let a child suffer, right? But then, literally the next day, I see her posting on social media about this expensive shopping haul she did. Designer clothes, fancy skincare products, stuff that clearly cost way more than $200. I was pretty hurt, but I didn't say anything because I didn't want to cause drama. Fast forward to last week. She texts me asking for another $300, again claiming it's for her kids. Something about school supplies and fees. But I'd just seen her husband posting pictures from some expensive restaurant the night before, talking about their date night. I was fed up. Instead of just saying no, I made a huge mistake. I screenshot her text asking for money and accidentally sent it to her husband instead of my own husband. I meant to send it to my husband with a message like, "Can you believe this?" but somehow sent it directly to her husband. The screenshot included our entire text conversation, including me venting about how she always asks for money but then spends it on non-essentials. Her husband had no idea about all the money she'd been borrowing from me. Apparently, she'd been telling him that I was just giving her gifts and help because I wanted to. He had no clue about the constant requests or the lies about what the money was for. Well, he confronted her about it, and everything came out. Turns out she'd been borrowing money from multiple friends and family members, all while telling different stories to everyone. Her husband was furious, not just about the lying but about the fact that she was taking advantage of people's kindness while they were struggling financially because neither of them wanted to work more hours. Now they're talking about divorce. She's completely cut me off and told everyone in our friend group that I betrayed her trust and ruined her marriage. Some people are taking her side, saying I should have talked to her directly instead of involving her husband. But others are saying she brought this on herself with all the lying and manipulation. Her kids are caught in the middle of this mess, and I feel terrible about that part. I never meant for any of this to happen, it was literally an accident that I sent that text to her husband. But now that it's all out in the open, part of me thinks maybe it needed to come out. Was I wrong to keep lending her money when I knew she was being dishonest about how she was using it? Should I have confronted her earlier instead of just staying quiet? Did I really ruin her marriage, or did she do that herself? Story 3. My friends hate my girlfriend, so I'm ditching their birthday. So I'm in this really tight friend group with 2 other guys, and apparently I'm about to become the villain of the group because I'm choosing my girlfriend over them. Here's what's going down. Recently, 2 of us got into serious relationships while the 3rd guy is still single. Ever since I started dating my girlfriend 6 months ago, my friends have made it crystal clear that they absolutely cannot stand her. Their main complaint? I don't spend enough time with them anymore. Before I got into this relationship, I used to hang out with these guys almost every single day. We'd play video games, go out to eat, just hang out and do whatever. But now that I have a girlfriend, I see them maybe twice a week instead. Apparently, that's not nearly enough for them. They've started making these passive-aggressive comments about how I've changed and how my girlfriend is controlling me. But here's the thing, she's never once told me I can't hang out with my friends. She's actually encouraged me to maintain my friendships. The problem is, whenever I do bring her around, they're absolutely horrible to her. They'll ignore her when she tries to join conversations, they make inside jokes specifically to exclude her, and they've even made some pretty cruel comments about her appearance when they thought she couldn't hear. Last month, things got really bad. We were all at a party together, and my girlfriend was trying to be social and fit in with the group. She was laughing at their jokes, trying to contribute to conversations, really making an effort. But they kept shutting her down. Then, when she went to the bathroom, one of my friends said something really nasty about her body, and the other one laughed and agreed. When I called them out on it, they said they were just joking and that I needed to stop being so sensitive. My girlfriend ended up hearing part of what they said, and she was really hurt. She didn't make a scene or anything, she just quietly asked if we could leave early. On the drive home, she started crying and asked me if that's really what my friends thought of her. It broke my heart. Since then, she hasn't wanted to hang out with them, and honestly, I don't blame her. But my friends are acting like she's being dramatic and that she's trying to isolate me from them. Now here's where everything's coming to a head. My single friend's birthday is coming up next weekend, and it's the same day my girlfriend and I already had plans. We bought tickets to this concert she's been wanting to see for months, and I was really looking forward to it. When my friend found out I wasn't coming to his birthday party, he lost it. He said I was choosing my girlfriend over my friends and that I'd become a completely different person since we started dating. The other friend jumped in and said that my girlfriend was manipulating me and that I needed to set boundaries with her. They both said that if I didn't show up to the birthday party, they'd know where my priorities really were. But here's what they don't understand: my girlfriend has never asked me to choose between her and my friends. In fact, when she found out about the birthday party conflict, she offered to skip the concert so I could go hang out with them. But I don't want to reward their behavior by abandoning her for people who treat her terribly. I told them that I'd already made plans with my girlfriend and that I wasn't going to cancel on her, especially after the way they've been treating her. Now they're saying I'm being controlled and that I'm throwing away years of friendship for some girl I've only been dating for 6 months. They keep texting me, trying to guilt me into changing my mind, and it's honestly exhausting. Part of me wonders if I'm being unreasonable. These guys have been my best friends for years, and I do miss the way things used to be. But I also can't ignore how cruel they've been to someone I really care about. My girlfriend deserves to be treated with basic respect, and if my friends can't do that, then maybe they're not the kind of friends I want to have. Am I wrong for choosing my girlfriend over my friend's birthday party, or are they being completely unreasonable about this whole situation? Story 4. I protected my shy niece from family pressure and now everyone hates me. So my 12-year-old niece just started taking piano lessons, and I think I might have caused a massive family drama by trying to protect her from being put on the spot. Here's what happened. My niece is incredibly shy and really doesn't like being the center of attention. At a recent family dinner at my mom's house, she was sitting next to me when she quietly confided that she'd promised Grandma she'd play a song on the piano, but she was really scared about performing in front of everyone. You could tell she was genuinely anxious about it, so I told her she could play just once and that I'd make sure she wouldn't have to do it again if she didn't want to. After dinner, she sat down at the piano in the living room and played her piece. It wasn't perfect, she lost her pace a couple of times and missed some notes, but she was clearly trying her best and pushing through her nerves. When she finished, everyone clapped and she looked relieved that it was over. But then, of course, my family couldn't just leave it at that. My mom immediately jumped up and said, "Oh, that was wonderful. Play it again." Other family members started chiming in, asking for an encore and suggesting other songs she could play. I could see the panic in my niece's eyes as everyone started pressuring her to perform more. She looked at me with this pleading expression, and I remembered what I'd promised her. So I stood up and said, "Actually, I think once was enough. She did great, but let's not overwhelm her." But my family was not having it. My mom got really annoyed and said that my niece needed to practice performing in front of people and that this was good for her. My sister, who's my niece's mom, said I was being overprotective and that kids need to be pushed out of their comfort zones sometimes. Other relatives started piling on, saying things like, "She's never going to get better if she doesn't practice," and, "A little pressure never hurt anyone." The whole room turned into this debate about my parenting philosophy versus theirs, with my poor niece still sitting at the piano looking like she wanted to disappear. I held my ground and said that she'd already done what she promised to do, and that forcing her to perform more when she was clearly uncomfortable wasn't helping anyone. My niece quietly got up from the piano bench and came to sit next to me, which I took as confirmation that I'd made the right call. But my family was furious. My mom said I was undermining her authority in her own home and that I had no right to speak for my niece. My sister accused me of enabling my niece's shyness instead of helping her overcome it. They kept arguing that kids need to learn to do things even when they're uncomfortable, and that I was doing her a disservice by rescuing her. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife, and it basically ruined the rest of the family dinner. People were making passive-aggressive comments for the rest of the evening, and when we were leaving, my mom made sure to tell me that I'd overstepped and that I needed to think about what kind of message I was sending to my niece. Since then, I've gotten several texts from family members telling me that I was wrong to interfere and that I should have let my sister handle her own daughter. They're saying that I'm going to make my niece's shyness worse by always stepping in to protect her from uncomfortable situations. My sister is particularly upset and says that I made her look like a bad mom in front of the whole family. But here's the thing, I've talked to my niece since then, and she thanked me for standing up for her. She said she really didn't want to play again and that she was grateful someone listened to her. That makes me feel like I did the right thing, but I'm also wondering if my family has a point about needing to push kids sometimes. Maybe I should have encouraged her to play one more time instead of immediately shutting it down. Or maybe I should have talked to my sister privately instead of making it a public confrontation. The whole thing has created this ongoing tension in our family, and I'm starting to second-guess myself. Was I right to protect my niece from being pressured, or did I overstep my boundaries and make things worse for everyone? If you enjoyed these stories, drop a comment telling me which one was your favorite. And if you want more relaxed Reddit readings, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these stories, like, comment and subscribe for more relaxed Reddit readings.